market share analysis, so there's a clear understanding of where I got all of this from, that it wasn't just pulled out of my ass, haha, and how I came to the analysis of everything put together. And then towards the end, I will give you the actual market, some of the market screenshot of actually Haldeman with the one sheet I had from my trade up sheet. But to have the rest will give a lot more details, so on and so forth, and the more research I'm doing this weekend would as well give a lot more data, factual data. Anyways, all right, here to start. Buyer, what happens to us here? All right, buyer power. When this affects everybody, buyers have powers, suppliers have power. Businesses and other dealerships that would come in, and these are your competitors right here. And there's something in this industry that is making all this rivalry happen to Haldeman, okay? And the market share, we should say, which affects Haldeman, of their market share. So let me just push play here and get this to the next screen. Okay, so now what it was is you guys have been in a fragmented market for the most part. Everybody, you know, doing their thing without there being too much stress between dealerships. Just regular, normal competitor ongoings, okay? And then what's has been happening, and is happening more, is going to happen more because of the industry, which I will give you a little bit later as well, of the overall, the whole industry as a whole. Right now we're focused on the market share in the area that directly affects Haldeman, okay? So it was a fragmented market for the most part, and now what has happened is turned to a concentrated market, okay? Oh, and by the way, obviously you can see why. Less customer knowledge. What has come out? Technology. It's given them more knowledge, more power, and there's your buyer power pretty much. So now it turns to a market concentration, economy of scale, okay? The market share leads to small companies closing and big companies acquiring them. The big to the small will depend on the market share separation, okay, which will be more explained soon. So the next is strategy formation. Where are you now? Where do you want to be? Know your strengths and competitive advantage points, where to focus and exploit these. Okay, so all in. Know your weaknesses and competitor threats, how to cure them and avoid difficult markets. All right, so now I used to find out the opportunities. All right, strengths and weaknesses, these are for the dealership, and these are your external factors, your opportunities and your threats, okay? So to get there, first, well, here you go. What are the key success factors in your market? You have to understand your customers and your competitors, where the market is at the moment. Like I said, it's a already transitioned to concentrated from your fragmented. And the future expectations. What is our competitive advantage? So we need to find out what our weaknesses are. Our weaknesses become our opportunity. With our opportunity, we have to find out how much opportunity do we have. And that's where this all comes in. Okay, this right here, of course, this was to find out what that red center dot, really what was making everything come against us. And the technological factors, of course, are it. Technology. Now with this is also weakness, okay? You're finding out from past what your weaknesses are through this as well. Tech, of course, you guys don't have all the tech that's out, or the best tech by any means. And there is a political factor that's coming, okay, which is going to be a weakness against you guys. And any weakness, if it is caught and on time and it is used correctly, can become opportunity. The more correctly you use it, the bigger opportunity it is for you, which of course equals higher profits, and more profit market share that you will gain. That means gain sales. So now, like I said, technological, new discoveries, ready to change, the obsolete that you're using, advancements, keep up to date on them. But there is strategy now to where you're at, to where to go. So that explains. So buyers have the power, which are you're seeing it in the CSIs. Okay, they know this, they want this. So the CSI scores, which is coming down on the stores, which is affecting allocation. The suppliers, they have power by having control over the allocation. Simple as that. This is affecting that. Potential entrants, I will show you somebody in the real DATs. Threat of substitutes, those competitors. It's who's grabbing the most market share, who has the most market share. That makes you the most powerful dealership. If you have the most, you are making the most sales, making the most money, obviously. Okay, so this is where you find out where everybody lines up in this chart. There's the cost, there's the you'll see in this chart, there's narrow focus, differentiate, because we need to find something in that buyer power, which is going to make us different, okay, to give this competitive advantage, okay, using the technology. That's a weakness. We need to use it as an opportunity, and we need to narrow in on the to differentiate ourselves. To do so, we're going to do it with technology, and we're going to do it with customer service, which will complete the whole CSI and the allocation, which therefore gives them no more power, okay, or very little power, the suppliers. So you get your allocation back. Of course they want you to sell, but you got to do it on their terms, which I will explain how that happened in industry part 2. But so if you take away the buyer power and you take away the supplier power, that means that they don't any longer have that power. But you need to build up the market share for that to happen. That's the only, and use the technology that's available. Your dealer Subaru's making them more than Ford, and that's because Subaru is faster growing right now, and they also had a there's a million reasons, which I'll go into another time. So now this is like a little, okay, here, this is where we are. There's no sound anymore because I couldn't figure it out now. Okay, so it's something different about us. Okay, a strong brand. That's, everybody knows, BMW, blah, blah, blah. If you were just reading the bottom. But what's most suitable for most companies is, see, you don't want to go cost leadership. It's price wars. Both lose in a price war in a concentrated market. That's why they've been doing that. Haldeman's, at least Subaru, has been doing that with Coleman, and they're both losing, as you will see. Okay, so you pick one of these differentiating factors, okay? Of course, the service, the CSIs tell us that, everything else, okay? So this is where, of course, I'm getting it. It all really makes sense. So now we know where to focus, okay? So we know it's with the customers. We know it's a service to them. We use the technology to do it, to get into your market share. But do not get stuck in the middle. Okay, you can't be the cheapest, or you can't be a mushy mixture of all three. Then you'll be doomed because you won't be able to beat any of your competitors in any one of those things. So you got to go for it and go for it all. Okay, do not get stuck in the middle where of the market share. You need to use differentiation. What's called, you can't use cost leadership. Okay, because you have to be in the cheapest. You can't. Because, as it says right here, it's a really bad strategy because it will start a price war. You can't do that in a concentrated market. You could do it in a fragmented and get away with it some, but not in concentrated, and that's what's changed. And both Coleman and Haldeman are losing because of it. They're blind, and the other guys have come and taken their market share while they've been fighting and going at it. So what is relative market share? And this how you compute it. Okay, what portion of the market do you have? Well, it matters on the sales and the relative size, which in the chart that I have, it gives both. All right, it's given it on the size of the sales opportunities that are already customers, but it matters none. It gives you an idea of how big each company is, of what they're working off of. Okay, let's see right here. I have it in zones. I'm gonna have to fix this after, but there's like, this is all zone 1 or district 1 in the Philly zone. Okay, and here they are. All right, there is 4 below Haldeman, and there's 12 altogether. Okay, and they're 5th, and there's all the ones above. All right, 221% more of the market share. You always measure it to your top guy, and here's your lowest one. But look, they're doing it with less customer base, and they're almost up to us. Okay, I mean, everybody else has smaller market share, size kind of. This is the market share, your sales. How much of, and this is the total sales. That's how I got these percentages. Okay, this is the percentage of market share they have, and this is how much over us they are. Okay, so this guy has more, 150 sales. Look at this. Look at this. The only ones that are even close with the same number here are these 2 other guys. That's it. So this is a monkey in the middle right here, and these guys are way ahead. Because, I mean, there's not too much difference, 200%. Right up to over here. Okay, now there's another one, which I'll show you. So this is telling you something. There is concern, a right to be concerned now. Okay, it doesn't matter how much money Haldeman's bringing in. It's how long are they going to survive in this market like this? Constantly got caught. They're stealing. If they're stealing the market share, it's going to keep going down unless something changes. So now whoops, and this is where, come on. See, if you have you're vulnerable. And then I did it again here. So what do? How do you fix it? Well, you do have options there, being in the middle there, and there is room, because I've done the studies of who has what. All right, there's actually a really good chance that, and I'm just saying Subaru now, take this all in consideration with Ford, but it's not as, you're not going to see your market share like that. I looked at the closest one where Mims works, I think, Ford. You guys have more inventory, which, you know, so you guys aren't in the same situation, but I'm just stressing the importance of Subaru here and why. Right now it's a question mark. You're going to become dogs, or you're going to become stars, because there's room. There's plenty of opportunity to become stars, but quite a bit of money to get them up to being a star. And if you choose to go this way, you go all in, or if you don't, you're going to become dogs anyways. So if you choose not to do anything and keep doing what they're doing, the odds are they're going to become dogs. And what happens if they become a dog? Dogs normally shut down. Unfortunately, is what happens. It doesn't matter how much money you're bringing in. If you're not getting the allocation and the customers are going elsewhere, what else are you going to do? Yeah, you'll sell some. And what about the costs that are coming in, which I'll get to that in a little bit here. I want to wrap this up soon. So what I did is there's that again. I'm going to show you a better one. And this is how you do your weaknesses, and you do, like, say, CSI, allocation. Of course, technology would be one of your weaknesses, and then you put an O for your weaknesses of where you can improve, and that's how you come up with your opportunity. It's pretty obvious in this situation, but there. So, I mean, there's real analysis that goes on in figuring it out, and to know what to zone in on. So with that said, I'm going to go to what you want to see, Paul. Some of here. I'm going to have to pause this and then come back into the other. Shit, my thing isn't big enough. Hang on. I have to make a different video for the stats. So I'm going to stop this. I'll upload it and make sure you watch the next video, because that's what you want to see. But I hope you understand a little bit better the market share and what's going on.